Hold on, just to make sure they got their whatever they need there. All right. Yes, you can close the door.
This is our service learning project for the 2024 to 2025 school year. I am the facilitator. I am Cadet Second Lieutenant Lillian-Dove Meyers. I am a junior and a Let 3. I am 16 years old with a JPA of 3.9, and my winning colors are blue and green. I enjoyed teaching because I think it is a wonderful experience to help people learn something new. As the facilitator, my job was to help manage the group and make sure that they got all of their goals met within the time that we had required. I will be followed by Cadet Renfro.
Good morning. My name is Cadet Corporal Elizabeth Renfro, and I was the debriefer for this project. I am in 10th grade. I am a Let 2. My GPA is 3.5. My winning colors are green and brown. At first, all of the cadets were very nervous, but after they all got their part down and learned what to do for the project, they were all very confident and presented very well. As a debriefer, it was my job to create a report after the event occurred. I will be followed by Cadet Hisaiah.
Good morning, my name is Cadet Corporal Hisaiah, and I'm the reporter. I am in 9th grade, I am a Let 1, I am 15, my GPA is 4.0, and my winning colors are red and blue. As each passing second came by, I saw how the cadets were improving and how each situation made them get better. It was a really great job. It was a really great honor to work with this company. As a reporter, I represented the team's voice and captured the team's findings. I'll now be followed by the facilitator.
Our service learning project was flags for 5th graders. Our individual companies broke into their own service learning groups and taught about the U.S. flag at 4 elementary schools on November 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. We went to the elementary schools and taught about the flag, went into detail about the Pledge of Allegiance, and concluded with a presentation on how to properly fold the U.S. flag. This project benefits the community because it teaches younger generations about patriotism and why it is important. This project enhances learning because it not only teaches our students about the flag, it allows them to teach others, and the best way to learn is to teach. Here are the lessons that we used to create this project. This lesson here and this lesson here, which are the top 2 rows, are lessons relating to the U.S. flag, which we used to gather the information for the project. This bottom row of lessons are the lessons that relate to service learning itself, which we used to create the service learning side of the project. This project relates to the JROTC competencies because it teaches about citizenship and betters our communication skills. And it helps improve our students' attitude towards the flag. I will be followed by Cadet Hisaiah.
Teamwork accomplishes the project. Teamwork is the key to a successful presentation. And as you can see here, this is the Bravo company, which I am a part of, and this is us demonstrating how to fold the flag, demonstrating teamwork. Modifications to meet the JROTC Service Learning Project Guidelines. This project can be modified by having more different visual examples for the students. For example, we can show them how the flag is represented vertically or horizontally. And we can also put a flag in the center and show them what to do within 6 steps of the flag and after 6 steps of the flag. Some other modifications could be more practice, because having more practice could help us fix on anything we missed and anything that we need to work on. Our last modification is the audience, because having different types of audiences can help us benefit what we're teaching and who we're teaching it to. I'll now be followed by the facilitator.
The process we used to create our presentation was the 7-step decision-making process. First, we had to identify what we thought was a problem in our community. We believe that topics relating to patriotism often get too involved in our day-to-day lives where we do not always take the time to appreciate them. Then we had to gather evidence about the schools we wanted to go to and find dates and times that would work with both our schedule and the school's schedule that we could present to the 5th graders. Then we had to develop several different courses of action on how we wanted to go about presenting this project to the 5th graders. After we had developed several different plans, we had to analyze the different plans and find a solution that we thought would best convey our desired intentions. Then we had to make a final decision on how we wanted to go about this project and make a final plan. Finally, we had to go into the elementary schools to teach about the flag. Afterwards, we had an after-action review where we assessed the results. This year, we had chose to do flags for 5th graders, where in previous years we had done flags for 1st graders. We had decided that the 5th graders had a better developed understanding of what we were trying to teach, and that is why we hold an after-action review to determine what is best, not only for this year's later projects, but for future years moving forward. I will be followed by Cadet Renfro.
As you can see here, our cadets are working together to present to the 5th graders. Here we have Delta Company working together to present, and here are our other companies like Bravo and Charlie presenting to the 5th graders. Here our cadets work together to fold the flag and teach about the Pledge of Allegiance. Most of our cadets thought it was very good to get to teach about the pledge, and we're very happy that they were able to teach to the 5th graders. I would like to highlight how Cadet Bleefernick felt nostalgia for going back through the doors of Carriage Hills, which is the elementary school he attended to, and he felt very proud that he was able to teach the 5th graders and the teachers. Overall, the project went very well. Some of our cadets were very nervous to present to the 5th graders, but after they all learned their parts, they were very confident and they were able to learn about the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance themselves. Here is Bravo Company with the 5th graders who received miniature flags after the presentation. The 5th graders were very engaged during the presentation and had many questions which our cadets were able to answer at the end. Many of our cadets were very comfortable with public speaking after the presentation and were able to learn about the country and the flag. I will be followed by the facilitator.
We believed this project inspires change. We have chosen this picture, not taken from our presentation, but taken from a parade at a later date where we can really see that some of the students from one of the elementary schools we attended are implementing what we taught them and respecting the flag. This portion of our service learning project has been completed, but we continue this project towards the end of this semester by going to the middle school and presenting a similar presentation and then teaching them to present their own color guard for their graduation ceremony. We also believe it could be beneficial to submit a similar presentation to the high schoolers because we believe that everyone should have access to this information. We also think it could benefit us to present to the Board of Directors, the Board of Education, so that they can see what they support when they really support our program. In conclusion, the project went really well, we accomplished our goal in a successful manner, and we believe that this will help our cadets moving forward. We have newspaper clippings from one of our presentations taken from the Lawton Constitution newspaper. Yes, they're in the back. I am subject to your questions.
Please, we're going to have some questions.
Yes,
Please have a seat. Lieutenant, well, first of all, it was a very good briefing. I like the idea of teaching the flag to younger kiddos, and I'm a staunch believer. And this is the one comment that I'll make, that the flag should be represented in our schools. And so this is a really good service learning project. Before we get into the questions, I'd like to get to know you. Myself,
Yes.
I'd like to get to know you a little bit better. And right now, all I know about any of you are your titles. That you're the facilitator, the debriefer, and the reporter. So, Lieutenant Meyers, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me what you want to do when you graduate high school and like what's your passion in life? And that's basically going to be the same question for all three of you.
So it said I was a junior, and I am a junior, but I am also graduating this year. And after I graduate, I will be attending cosmetology school to get a cosmetology license and learn to cut hair.
Okay. Are you going to go with the battalion commander?
No, we have same intended school, different locations.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't talk beforehand, it just ended up that way.
Okay. All right. And what drives you to be a cosmetologist in cut hair?
So I started cutting hair because my hair is a little wavier, and so every time I've gone to get my hair cut, it always kind of turned out wonky because I cut it like it was straight. And so then I didn't want to go, and then I started cutting my family's hair and other people's hair, and I just liked how it made me feel when they enjoyed their haircut and they felt pretty, because I think sometimes a service for someone isn't always a necessity, and so even though it's just cutting hair, it makes them feel better and it makes them feel good, and I like that.
You're absolutely right. I would tell you, when I was on active duty, I would get a haircut once a week. And it was usually on Sunday, so I would look good on Monday. And it was that was the best part of my week, was sitting there in the talcum powder and the barbershop. So yeah, you're spot on with how it makes other people feel. So you like making it, you're a giver. Is that what you're trying to tell us? Okay. Yes, you?
Oh, no, I was just gonna commend that, you get like self-satisfaction out of watching someone else be satisfied, and that gives you that, same feeling that you're satisfied too, to see that. That's great, that's great. I'm not gonna ask what your winning color is, because you briefed it up there, but, I take it that you, like people, maybe to people a lot. Great, excellent, okay.
All right, Corporal Renfro,
Yes, sir.
please.
I'm thinking about going to the Army, not the Army, the Air Force Academy after graduation, or going to OU in here in Oklahoma.
I'm sorry, what was that last part?
OU in Oklahoma.
OU,
the Oklahoma
okay.
University.
Okay, so you want to go in the Air Force as an officer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you want to do in the Air Force?
I'm not exactly sure yet, but I've been looking at all of the different jobs and titles, and I'm interested in flying planes.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Awesome.
she went out of the
You like being in the skies then?
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Just wait 5 extra minutes at the gate. That's all I ask. That's good. That's gonna stick with me for a long time. It's gonna stick with you longer, but yeah. Inside joke.
Inside joke. Good. Air Force?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. You know, we're all purple in the end, and I love going with my comrades when we go to different, seeing different cadets, and you know, they'll go Army, our Army, and then out of the middle, someone will say, "Oh, I'll go to Air Force," and I'll go, "Woo!" You know. But in the end, disciplines, we're all purple. Marines do have a great uniform. I mean, I love the Army uniform. Air Force, I love their uniform. It's just the Marines just wear it well sometimes, and that's just general purposes, nothing in particular. But keep it up. And do y'all have Air Force recruiters that come here to the school, or is it all Army?
We do have Air Force recruiters come sometimes, but not as often as the Army recruiters do.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you. And Corporal Hisaiah?
Yes, sir.
Did I say it correctly?
Yeah, you did. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Very good.
Please tell me what your aspirations are.
Well, after I graduate, I want to go to a medical school, and then after I graduate medical school and all of that, I want to go to the Air Force academies.
Okay. What kind of doctor do you want to be?
I want to be an internal medicine physician.
Okay. Okay. Well, I will tell you, there are different, we call it accessions. If you go to the recruiter, you're assessing into the enlisted. If you go ROTC, you're assessing as an officer. But there's other accessions that you might not be aware of, which include lawyers, doctors, specialty people that we need. That we don't necessarily grow our own. We recruit after you've gotten that education. So I would, and then you get paid differently as well. Better, by the way. So I would, after you become a doctor and you're still interested in becoming a service member, I would look at that accession path because it's going to be more beneficial to you.
Yeah, it's a win-win. Sometimes, as Mr. Thomas has stated, that depending on what avenue you go in, Army, Air Force, or they will pay for your med school.
Yes.
Okay, so it'll be like, what? But you're gonna, in the end, you're gonna give them something back too. So that's all. For I think it's every year of university, going to med school, you give them
Something like that, yeah.
2 years back.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win, because you already know your destiny once you finish. So excellent, it's great. Okay.
So I kind of like I want to explain to you how Ms. Agu and I do things so that you understand what drives us on our questions. Okay? When we ask questions, it's typically because we didn't hear it or see it when you were giving a briefing, and so. But this briefing went really quick too. So if you said it or it's on the slide when we ask the question, please refer back to it so that, because right now, if I ask the question, you're gonna get credit, but you're not gonna get full credit, okay? But, so if it's there, let us know, okay? So, can any of you tell me how this benefits the community?
That was actually, we had an entire slide on that. Yes, benefits the community. It teaches the students, the cadets, and teachers about the flag and patriotism.
Okay, so we're talking about patriotism.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I missed it, so thank you.
I do talk a little quickly. It's my bad.
It's okay. I know you're nervous, and that's kind of the reason why we wanted to get to know you a little bit better, so you feel more comfortable with two complete strangers in a room. I promise I don't have a van in the parking lot. I don't have a van. You're safe.
Candy!
Yeah, Candy, little cadet. Another question I wanted to ask you is that how many, because your goal was to teach the 5th graders the significance and things about the flag, okay? So how many 5th graders and how many cadets participated in this project?
It varied a lot depending on who went where. I know that our smallest group of 5th graders was around, I believe, like 50, and some of them were more higher, towards 100. It depended on which school we went to, and also the size of the companies. 2 of our companies that went had around 30 cadets in them, and the other 2 that went had between 15 and 20.
Okay, those numbers, I mean, even though like you can round off and that's perfect, but show that data. You showed stuff that's specific. And if you start calculating how many days you went, which you showed on your, when you went 4 days or 5 days?
4 days.
You went 4 days, averaging about anywhere from 50 to maybe less than that, 30 5th graders. They weren't the same 5th graders, right? They were, it's different schools. And did you put the different schools that you went to?
Yes, they were all mentioned.
Okay, that's a lot of community service hours, right? If you calculate that, I mean, that's nothing light that you did. And each cadet put in, I mean, how long were you there from beginning to, how long?
The presentation itself took approximately an hour, and we showed up 45 minutes to an hour beforehand to set up and rehearse.
So if you start just general purpose, if you calculate that, depending on those 4 days that you went, time that hour, time the amount of cadets that went there, you see how specific data, you see how your data grows, and that's something to be extremely proud of, because you're teaching, you're leading, you're teaching the 5th grade, and they're getting more information than they had before. So that's, and you did your after action reports, which were wonderful in a service learning project. You identified the facilitator, the briefer, the reporter, excellent, because that's in your curriculum. But showcase, that's honorable mention data that is exceptional that you want to, because that's answering the 5 W's as well. And then you added on, these are how many 5th graders were overall at JROTC trained, okay? Okay. No, but you did it, but you can get down a little bit in the wood parts and give us some data, give us some numbers that go along with that, and expound on it to say, in our community, because that's 5th graders in your schools, in your district that you went to, and you taught this valuable information about the flag. Okay, very good.
Did you talk about new ideas for different projects?
Yes.
Mhm.
That was our second to last slide. Would you like me to?
Sure. I'd like to see what other projects you're interested in.
New ideas, we go down to the middle school and teach them about the flag and give them the information to create their own color guard. We would like to present it to the high school because we believe it is beneficial, but that is not a fully made plan, that's just new potential ideas.
Okay.
And we think the Board of Education could also be beneficial, so they could see what they support when they support our program.
Okay. And have you discussed anything outside of teaching how to fold the flag, like other service learning projects?
When we go over our service learning lesson with the cadets, we do have them brainstorm their own ideas. This is just one that we as a battalion feel very passionately about, so this is one we like to focus on.
Okay. Okay. I like it. Ms. McGill, I only have one last question.
Go ahead.
Can you describe how teamwork accomplished your mission?
So teamwork is key because it's a whole presentation, so we need cadets to break down the individual parts of the pledge. We do have the slide on that one too. We need cadets to break down different parts of the pledge. Yes, we have evidence of teamwork. Evidence defines the project. Teamwork. So we think teamwork is key to accomplishing the task because we need multiple people. It requires a whole team to fold a flag, and that involves more speaking parts. So when we work together, we can really build a stronger presentation.
Okay. And again, so I know your instructor stepped out for a minute. So because I asked these questions and I missed it, and they were in the slide deck, I'm not going to take away from it because you were talking fast. Okay. But I would say just relax and slow down a little bit in the future when you're cutting hair or maybe you're teaching how to cut hair. Just all of you just take a breath. We're all human. We all got dressed the same way this morning. We're not aliens from Mars as much as
S2.
S2 wants us to be. So yeah. Thank you. You know where I was going with that.
Okay. And also, I wanted to just go back to, you gave us the fantastic ARs on some of the cadets and what they thought about it, and individual team reflection. But you yourselves, y'all played a major role. What did you take away doing that? Because y'all did participate, correct? So what was one thing, and just one, because it's probably several, that you took away when you reflect on this overall project, where the 5th graders, and you can give it to individually, and then that would be it.
So for me personally, the first time I did the project, I was a Let 1 and I was just a cadet presenting the project, so I had to learn the part and present. I still presented now, but it was a little harder coming back knowing the full presentation and knowing everything and having to wait for them to figure that out on their own. Sometimes I have a problem when I lead with I just want to participate, and I think the best advice I've ever been given is the hardest part of leading is learning to put down the shovel, and I thought about that a lot because I couldn't do it for them or they wouldn't learn. Right. So it was sometimes difficult to teach them and guide them without just doing it myself.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I also took away leadership skills from this. I was the first sergeant for Bravo Company during this, so I had to help my cadets learn their parts properly without messing up, which while it did take some time, it was good for me to help them learn about that and trying to push them to better themselves.
Well, it was really great to work with them again, of my company. But it was like kind of challenging because I haven't have a speaking part. Because this year I had a speaking part, but last year I was floating the flag.
So what do you think was easier, folding the flag or the speaking part?
Floating the flag.
Okay. Good. That's it. Well, thank y'all very much.
Yeah, thank you, it was good.
Y'all have your time to say it. I get tired of saying it. Your time. The two strangers.
Yeah, I mean, I could not imagine being in 8th, 9th, 10th grade and standing up to strangers and not only speaking, but speaking intelligently about something. This is impressive. And like I said, teaching about the flag and patriotism, it makes me feel like, you know, we're headed in the right direction, at least in the state of Oklahoma.
But they are going, those 5th graders, you won't know the impact that you had on them until one day you're walking around and you're in the grocery store and someone said, oh, I learned about that when I was 5th grade, because these came in uniform, JROTC, and they taught us how to, you wouldn't know the impact that you learned, that you brought to those 5th graders, and they probably want to carry that all the way up through high school. Good job.
Good job.
Thank you very much.